Now, listen to this hit from 9 years ago.
Now, when he was a young man, he never thought he'd see people stand in line to see the boy king.
He's one of America's funniest film stars. We'll unmask that wild and crazy guy in just a few minutes.
The hits from coast to coast, American Top 40.
This is Mark Elliott in for Kasem this week, and now we're up to the first hit single by the hottest comedy talent in America today. A man who's probably getting more laughs per audience and more dollars per laugh than anybody in the business. 32-year-old Steve Martin has come a long way since his days as a writer with the old Smothers Brothers TV show. Now he's on stage and writing only for himself. He's been a guest on Saturday Night Live 5 times already, and has either guested with or substituted for Johnny Carson more than 40 times. In the last year alone, Steve Martin has grossed over $1 million in concerts, appeared on the covers of a dozen national magazines, played a role in Robert Stigwood's Sgt. Pepper movie, won a Grammy for Best Comedy Album, sold a script for a movie that he'll star in, contracted with NBC for 2 TV specials, and just played a week at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas for a fee of $22,000 a day. Now that's a hot comic. But Steve Martin just takes it all in stride, like the wild and crazy guy that he is. Here's his first hit single, debuting at number 35 this week, King Somebody or Other.
Well, now I have the story of the wild and crazy guy who learned about show business and how to make people laugh while he sold 25-cent guidebooks at Disneyland. Of course, I'm talking about comedian Steve Martin. You see, when Steve was only 10 years old, his family moved to Garden Grove, California, which is just about 2 miles from Disneyland. And it was just shortly after the famous amusement park had opened that 10-year-old Steve decided to walk on over and see if he could get a job there. Well, he was hired to sell 25-cent guidebooks, and that's when he caught the show business bug. Selling guidebooks gave Steve Martin the opportunity to wander around Disneyland, having fun watching the many performers who worked there. And just by watching, he picked up rope tricks and magic tricks, some of which he uses in his act today. But Steve says that probably the most fun of all was watching a man named Wally Bogue. You see, Wally was an old vaudevillian who would stand up and tell good, clean jokes, make animals out of balloons, and most of all, make people have fun. And it's making people have fun like Wally Bogue did at Disneyland that Steve Martin says is his goal as a performer today. This is Steve's first Top 40 single. At number 24 this week, King Tut.
American Top 40.
Now, listen to this hit from 9 years ago. That is a Top 40 hit from 1978, and the singer is a man who's become one of the most popular actors in Hollywood, a wild and crazy guy who grew up in Orange County, California. We first got to know him in the mid-70s as a regular host on Saturday Night Live. He's a comedian who built his reputation on, well, acting like a jerk, but a funny jerk. He always dressed the part. White silk suit, carefully accessorized with pink and white bunny ears, or the occasional fake arrow through the head. Tasteless from head to toe. In 1977, he recorded his first album called Let's Get Small, which included the rudest apology ever. Excuse me. That did it. This rambling guy became the most popular comedian in the country. Meanwhile, there was an art exhibit touring the country, the treasures of the ancient Egyptian king, King Tutankhamun. And in 1978, this comedian captured the comic spirit of the land of the pharaohs with this. Listen.
Got a condo made of stoner.
King Tut, a song that went up to number 17 back in 1978 for Steve Martin and his backup group, the Toot Uncommons, which were actually the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Steve, of course, went on from stand-up comedy to become a versatile writer, director, actor, and filmmaker, though he still says his occupation is comedian. His string of hit movies include Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, All of Me, and last summer's hit Roxanne. He's now starring with John Candy in a new movie called Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Steve Martin, the original wild and crazy guy, famous actor and pop star, hitting the top 40 back in 1978 with King Tut. Another page from the AT40 book of I Didn't Know He Ever Hit the Chart as the countdown rambles on.
The hits from